Hi everyone, this is my fourth video journal for digital literacies. This week we focus on race after technology. It was a very interesting text. Things that I'm starting to kind of pull at and parse out in my mind was interesting. How she focused on how racism is embedded in technology and in digital spaces, but also how that can be put into the context of other minority groups, such as dealing with gender, sexuality, and disability, and how technology and digital spaces can be against those as well. One quote I found interesting towards the beginning was on page 7 of the Kindle version was, "Far from coming up upon a sinister story of racist programmers scheming in the dark corners of the web, we will find that the desire for objectivity, efficiency, profitability, and progress fuels the pursuit of technical fixes across many different social arenas." So that was interesting to me, how she kept on talking about how a lot of it is embedded, how a lot of it we don't think of it as racist, because it's already so far embedded in that it just seems that it's normal, as things like Google algorithms, and then how things that you search pop up everywhere else, your Instagram, your Facebook, and how it all just like sprinkles out. Sometimes it's really creepy because, well, people are watching us all the time, but it just makes it more evident. And there was a quote with about the Google algorithms. On page 10, Google algorithms were optimizing for the racial discriminating patterns of past users who had clicked on these ads, learning the racist preferences of some users and feeding them back to everyone else. So how then? Sometimes things within those Google searches of other people also get in there. And it's so interesting how things will just randomly pop up. Like sometimes I'll get things on my Facebook ads and I'm like, why are you on there? Like one of the weirdest ones is stuff by Wish. It's a shopping place or website from China, and some really weird things. It's like, why are you showing up? And why are you showing me this? And a lot of it is based on your search history, but then also on your demographics, how they can try to begin to compile off of your search history. So that is a type of profiling. And that's really dangerous, because a lot of resources are now online talking about things like people in lower income areas. Well, if they would have access to technology, or if they have a personal computer, they're searching about cheaper things or services or ways that they can get help, and then it's going to continue to spit that back and spit back that identity, and then you can't roll that identity back. And just like I use with my speech as much as I possibly can, which a lot of companies aren't that good with yet, which really drives me nuts, because we have the technology but they don't want to use it because of security reasons. Sometimes I think security is just as it's becoming a very discriminatory IT process because of my speech. I have a very difficult time talking on the phone. Choppy, not full sentences, can't get started. And with people I don't know, I can barely speak on the phone if I don't know the individuals because of my speech. And there are very few companies that have support that is text-based or through your account online. Hospitals are starting to do it. some like business type organizations, like some banks, but they have like preloaded questions, and it's not actually a chat. It's back a computer answer. Um, so that's how I got really thinking about the technology and the code and how it keeps you from doing certain things. Like, I've gotten a lot better now. I can, but I used to not do a lot of ordering at restaurants or different things um, because it was harder to order in person. But now some places you have like the pre-order or the even like the little tablets at the beginning where you can order, and so then that helps me through that process. But also, like, I am more apt to do business with places or that have more access through speech and in different things. And it is so much that there are some companies that create a digital platform that, oh, like, we have this beautiful website and everything, but if you have any questions, you need to call us. And that automatically makes them non-disability friendly. And also, I mean, if you're talking on the phone, it opens up a lot of issues where not only people with disability, but also speakers of non-standard English. It opens up possible things with your race and sexuality based on your voice, or how if you just have a lower or higher tone that they can think of you in different ways and pick on you, like, or prod. Like, even if I can talk on the phone with people, they'll get, oh, like, ma'am, because I have a lower voice and, like, I apparently talk like a woman to some people. So having those technologies available opens up those barriers and allows for less discrimination. But what does it say about companies that have like a beautiful online presence, but they aren't going that extra mile to be like, okay, we're going to have this like digital chat platform for people who have accounts with us or different things. I think the whole like security reason I'm talking on the phone is absolutely ridiculous, because like I could say that my name is blah blah blah, and the account information, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, don't have an open chat on your website, but have it where people can log in and I don't know, go through the 8 million passcode things and do that and yada yada yada. But more companies need to do that and open up those spaces, and those practices of having of of having a beautiful website, but saying, okay, if you have any important questions, you need to call us, you need to talk to us in person on the phone. And that's embedded anti-disability, and also embedded against non-standard English, like African American English and different things. It's like, we are forcing you to talk. We have to do it in this way. We are not opening up any other doors. That's where this book really got me thinking about the practices of companies with online spaces like that. How they'll say it's like, oh, it's because security reasons, but no, it's just an embedded practice that they have the phone number, they don't have the chat function, or they have the chat function but it has preloaded questions that are for usual questions that would be answered. Well, where do they get those usual questions? Based on the people that aren't scared to talk to them, or are normally calling on the phone and getting help, which is probably people that are more neurotypical and more follow the lines of standard English, because it scares away others from doing that. So then they base those questions for the chat function that is ran by computers, which have a lot of issues, on the already discriminatory practices. So it's like an endless loop. And that's where I was really going with this and trying to get into that, was kind of the cross-section between racism, anti-disability, and homophobia, and gender issues, and things like that. So I'm excited about talking about this in class. Bye.